Hi, welcome back to Guessagaingaming and to the ongoing series of games I bought in the PlayStation New Year's sale. This game is one of the few games that I'd actually considered buying quite a few times before the sale. It's called Labyrinth of Zangetsu. I thought it might be interesting because it was turn-based combat, which I like a lot. I thought the art style looked kind of nice, and I'd thought about it a few times. This time I got it. And I played it a little bit when I bought it. I played it a little bit today before I started making this video, and I'm not really very impressed for a lot of reasons. Firstly, the art style's not as exciting or interesting as I thought it looked when I sort of saw the little clips of it. Yeah, okay, it's kind of a drawn, I'm guessing it's hand drawn, but it's just a labyrinth. It's just wood panelling, so it's not very exciting. For all the parts I've gone through so far, this is all I've seen. It's a labyrinth, so I wouldn't know if it's going to be anything different, but this isn't very exciting. The little pen portraits of the characters below are nice enough, but they're nothing amazing, and this game retails normally for £25, so I don't think this is a £25 game. I bought games on Steam for £25, I bought games on PlayStation in sales for £25, and there's no way this is a £25 game. I bought games new from PlayStation for under £25, and this is nowhere near that level. £10 maybe, and that'd be pushing it. It's a game that I would expect to see on Steam for like £10, and I might buy for 99p, but not £25, no. So that's the first thing that I didn't particularly like. The labyrinth thing sounds interesting if you just say Labyrinth of Zangetsu, it sounds interesting, but when you end up doing this and just going down these very similar wooden corridors, which aren't elaborate or scary or very, well, don't know, standout-ish, they're just boring. That is not very exciting either. Next thing that I don't like at all in this game, I think it's very tacky, to be honest, is number one, they give you lots of these clues, but they write them, and in a good game or a proper game, then you see or hear things. You don't need it written in front of you. I think there's loads of this in this game, and that's very poor, because if you've got a wall that doesn't open, or a secret, you have a little glistening thing, or you have a obviously different panel on the wall. You don't need to write it so someone can read it. And secondly, the font they are using looks like something your teacher would use at school to do a science class. It's the most bog standard, not made any effort font ever. And if you're doing a game called Labyrinth of Zangetsu, which is presumably Chinese, or that kind of vicinity anyway, you would use something that fits in with that location and time frame. So the font is really immersion breaking. Having these clues pop up like this is really immersion breaking, because you want to hear the thing, and then you would know there was something. You don't need them to tell you. Why don't they use? We all have, you know, that's what PlayStation games are. That's what games are. You can hear stuff and you can see stuff. That's the point of the game. You don't need to have it written on the screen. It's like having a thing saying someone's shooting at you when someone's shooting at you. So yeah, it's poorly designed, and they've not really made an effort to integrate the clues into the game. They just stick them on screen and tell you in the most basic way. And as you can see, there's quite a lot of that as well. Yeah, see, there's lots of these little signs, which are all, again, the font's terrible, and they just tell you little clues, but again, they're things you should see in the game. And also, remember, this is meant to be a labyrinth. I don't know why they would have those kind of things posted around on boards all over the place. It doesn't make any sense. So again, not very impressed. There's something behind us, but it's not anyway. Okay. So again, all of this looks very the same. It's not very interesting. The fonts and the dialogue are bad. There's another little thing to read on the wall. You can make camp. Again, it's a bit. I don't think we need to make camp because we've not done anything yet. It reminds me of a few other games like this. Van Brace Cold Soul is a bit similar, where you make camp and you walk around lots of confusing areas. But that game has really, really outstanding artwork. It's sort of an annoying game in lots of ways. It's hard to play, but it's got a lovely art style, and that game is less than this game new. So yeah, and that game's very colourful, and it's got much better dialogue. They've paid a lot of attention to the way they write fonts, to the way the characters talk, and so they've made a lot of effort in that. I'm not saying it's a perfect game, but it's got much more than this has. If you want to buy this kind of dungeon crawling, walk into things around the corner game, play that. So again, why would you make the noise? You'd hear a noise. You wouldn't have to say it on screen. It's really in that really boring font. It's really, yeah. And you see a presence. Well, why don't you just darken out the door and make it a bit more creepy rather than just tell? See, there's way too much of this writing in this really poor font. And there's plenty of games that use storytelling in the game and give you physical written dialogue, but not like that. That's the worst example that I think I've ever seen in the game, where they just plonk it on the screen everywhere, and it's in the most bog standard font you could ever find. Right, so this is gameplay. It's like Darkest Dungeon and lots of these kind of games where you've just got your little portraits below and you take it in turns to attack, and some of your main line can't do anything. I noticed, I don't know if it's to their back line, they've not got enough. Then we can do some magic. Do some magic on him. This one will parry, that one will parry, because I can't do anything else. And they're dead. And that was it. I mean, I'm not blaming the game for that. You don't want a really hard first turn, but it's not grippingly exciting. That could have, I mean, it's probably a tutorial, so I'll give it that. But even as a tutorial, that was weak. I mean, I didn't do anything. I just pressed a few. I wasn't even paying attention to what I was doing. I just pressed buttons, like, without even thinking, and we won without going through another round. So. And again, you know, that's really badly written. You'd want, in a game that's £25, you'd want some kind of voice dialogue for that line at the top there. You have passed your first trial. Or you'd want something written in a much more magical, creepy aesthetic, but they're just writing it in that bog standard way, so. And that's kind of the way it goes. It's a labyrinth, so you get lost a little bit, but that's annoying in lots of games. In this game, it's really annoying because, again, it's not like getting lost in a game with really lovely art and you're running around in the forest or in the mansion where there's loads of fantastic artwork and interesting characters. You're just running around these drab, grey planked walls, and that's not very exciting. I don't know why they had to make it so boring. It could have been ornate, it could have been anything. I mean, if someone said to me, make a labyrinth and the whole game's going to be in a labyrinth, and this isn't a creepy aesthetic, so they're not trying to make it a horror game. So if you're going to do something in a labyrinth, it's not a horror game, it doesn't need to be dark. You could make it anything. You could make it elaborate, you could make it fantasy, you could make it fantastical, you could make it anything, and this is just, like I said, boring. Read another thing. Something's written there, well, I'd never have guessed that. And that tells you, again, it's a tutorial, but it's done in a really poor way. You do not want to go around a very, very, very bland and boring map, reading things in very boring fonts that just say something is written here, and Because again, in any game I've ever played, maybe on the first one of those, it would, I mean, it says read, so unless you're a dummy, you would see that it says read, but okay, it would say something is written here in case you don't understand what read means, but it doesn't have to tell you that every time. So I don't like this at all. I don't like anything about it. I don't like it's £25. I think that's way too much for what it is. And even if this was £10 new, they've not made any effort to make it immersive. There is no voice acting. They tell you what you need to know without showing you or letting you hear it, which is weird. The fonts have no imagination. How someone thought that was a good idea, that font, I don't know. The labyrinth is drab and boring. I can't see any reason why it needs to be. It could have, like I said, it could be ornate, it could be anything, and they've made it that. They had all the imagination in the world to make this anything, and they've made it that. So I don't like this at all. You've seen from the combat, it's not very interesting. I mean, I'm sure later on it gets tougher, your guys level up, but you know, that's lots of games. There's loads of games, turn-based games with this kind of style, that you level up your characters are way more interesting than this. So no, it's I would 100% not recommend. Spend £2 on Van Cold Soul or something else. This is poor by every standard I can think of. So that's Labyrinth of Zangetsu. I will not be playing this again, and I will be uninstalling it, and I am absolutely overwhelmingly glad that I didn't pay anything more than £2 something for it. Anyway, thanks for watching Guessagaingaming. Till next time with another video of games I bought in the PlayStation Store New Year's Eve sale, or New Year's sale. Thanks for watching. Till next time.